this particular parachute was this nylon parachute, and I put the knot on. The knot is now dry. I had some glue in here. This is really rock hard. It's just really, really solid. So now everything's attached, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach this to the rocket, and we'll just fold it up. Again, same as the other parachute, but again, the nylon parachutes tend to open a little bit easier. They don't tend to hold their shape and get stuck like the other parachutes do. So just go ahead and put that through the eyelet here, and we pass the parachute through. And that's it. We're now ready for flight. And we can again fold this up the same way. And this parachute will open a little bit easier because it is nylon. So I'm going to do the same thing. I've got the Kevlar cord in back of the Kevlar felt. And I'm going to take this and simply pull it straight, fold it over in the middle, and that's it. I'm just going to wrap the lines around it. And again, using an end-to-end type of a wrap. This way we're not putting any twists in it. Oops, that's it's already popping apart. So let's go ahead and do that all over again. Now again, I don't know if there's a better way to do this or not. Certainly with these small parachutes, I don't know if it's going to really make a difference because they are so small. And I usually like to wrap it down to approximately where this cord is. At this point now, we just simply put this in our Kevlar felt. See, this is approximately the same length that we had before, but this parachute being the nylon is a little bit bulkier. So if we squeeze this together, it looks approximately the same type of dimension as what the streamer was. So let's go ahead and fold this up like this. And we want to hold this tight. Careful, it likes to squish out on the sides. We keep our cord line for the nose cone over here. Or that's the cord line actually from the parachute to the felt. Sorry, that. Okay, so we go ahead and just stuff the cord in and try to keep this inside. Now notice that the streamer, the plastic parachute, and the nylon parachute all use the same ejection blanket. They all use the same thing. So that's why this is a very, very versatile type of system. And we can again just squish this in. A little bit more challenging this time because the nylon parachute is a little bit thicker. Oh, let me try that again. This whole thing is just kind of messed up. Let me do that again. As I was playing around with it, it just kind of started squishing back and forth and popping apart again. Okay, so I am going to just roll this up a little bit like this, just because it's going to make it easier to put into the Kevlar blanket. And now I'm going to stuff this in. Sometimes it's easier to stuff these tabs in or fold them in. On occasion, I've had a streamer that was really tight and I just trimmed those tabs off just to make this a little bit easier. Just go ahead and stuff this in. Again, the Kevlar cord is popping out. There we go. And it just slides in. A little bit tighter fit because that nylon parachute is just a little bit thicker. But again, everything fits really well, and we can see this whole thing is just going to slide right out really, really easily. So just push that in, and take the rest of the cord, bunch it up, put this on top. Now we're all set for flight. And Again, you will have your wadding in here. I'm not adding the wadding at this particular point in time. Well, let's see how well this works. We'll just simply pull it all apart. Say, okay, the nose cone's going to come off, and underneath it we're going to have the parachute being pushed out from behind. Once that happens, you can see again it's springing open, and that's good. As it springs open, it pushed itself open, and that's good because now that means we're going to release the parachute. It's not going to get caught, and the parachute just flies out and opens up. Okay, so that's it. I think this pretty much concludes our construction of the black Brant and recovery options. This Kevlar felt with the eyelet is extremely versatile. You see we've put in the streamer, which is this. We've used the other plastic parachute and a nylon parachute. And this will just simply open up very easily. See how easily it opened. All I did was pick it up and it pops right out. So that's why I like these, again, these nylon parachutes. And for $350, they're a real bargain from BMS. And I usually keep them all set up with the cord. And then I decide, usually the day before launch, what I'm going to be flying. I typically don't fly parachutes very often, simply because I just like the streamers. They're very, very interesting. However, the streamer does weigh much more than a parachute. Probably, I would say, almost twice as much. So you will not get the same height with the streamer. However, you can't put a bigger engine in. So it's all a trade-off. If you want to have a higher flight with a smaller engine, the parachute's great. Assuming that it's not windy, you don't have a lot of drift problems, that's really a good solution. That's going to work really well. On the other hand, if you've got a little bit more wind, you might want to go with the streamer. You'll get a little bit less height, but then you can put a bigger engine. Again, it's all a trade-off in terms of how you want to do your flights. But the whole idea is, well, we have a system now that is got interchangeable blankets, interchangeable nose cone, interchangeable recovery systems. We got the swivel in the body. And again, if you look at a lot of videos, I've even watched videos from other people, their bodies are spinning. And when they spin, they tangle everything up. So with the spinning of the body, the swivel that we put into the inside of the rocket, I'll just pull this out. Notice when I pull this out, it's not tangling. Using that figure 8 winding, there it is. Even though I pulled out this as a wad, it still just pulls right open. So having the swivel here allows the body to spin back and forth without tangling things up. Again, a very, very nice recovery system, and I hope everybody can enjoy using this type of system and just play around with it, improve the streamers, improve how the spoilers work. And I'm going to work a little bit more on what I call the spotting streamer, which is having a parachute like this. If you put like a D12 in this rocket, it's going to be up in the clouds, and you're not going to see this parachute. I don't, you have the greatest eyesight, you're just simply not going to see it. It's just too small. So I'm going to fly with a parachute and a streamer at the same time, use this really, really narrow streamer. And that's going to look really cool. We're going to have the parachute and this tiny streamer all attached here to the eyelet. And when it pops out way up in the air, we're going to see the drag from the parachute, and then the wiggling of the streamer is going to make it really, really easy to spot. So again, a lot of options here, and this pretty much concludes all this work that I've been doing, which is to transfer all of the work that I've been doing to all the other members of the various clubs that I am currently in. So again, I appreciate these clubs that I fly at. They provide the fields, and everything is really nice. We've got the launch areas. They provide the launch pads if you need them, and I feel it's gracious for me to turn around and say, well, here's all the stuff that I've done, and the members now can go ahead and use these types of designs and fly with these types of configurations. And a lot of this is the fact that when you're new to rocketry, you may not really know that all this stuff can be done. So you build your rocket, you fly it, it's like, well, is that all? Well, no, there's a lot more you can do. And you can also then become more proficient in selecting the recovery system, depending on the type of wind, the size of your field, whether you want to have a drift, whether you want to have sparkling streamers. If you put it up high, you might want to have the spotting streamer. Again, a lot of options, and I just want to introduce Rocketeers to all these different options in the recovery systems. But it all starts with this basic recovery system that I built. Again, the swivel, the 5-foot cord, the eyelet on the Kevlar felt, and it works really, really nice. So that's it for this series, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on some of these other streamer ideas, and I'll be posting videos as they become available.